Here to get you elevated.
Our conversation pop. You know what it do. Stories in the smoke. Welcome to the Spute. Stories in the smoke. Welcome to the Spute. Stories in the smoke. Welcome to the Spute.
Here to get you elevated. 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 Here to get you elevated.
These guys are awesome.
What up, everybody? How you doing? My name is Riley, and I am, for a fact, the tastiest pudding you could ever taste. On the other side of the screen, but yet to be seen, is my boy Jazzy Jasper Green, otherwise known as Yard Camaro, otherwise known as the tallest man to never reach anything.
So I think it goes without saying that this is going to be a very somber episode of the Spute, given the immensely traumatic event for America that will forever color this time of the year. And I'm of course talking about the unfortunate early passing of Queen Elizabeth.
There's nothing else that's happened.
Look,
quite
if
around
you
the
listen to
10th of
all,
September,
if you listen
as
to all the
devastating
real
as that.
patriots, the real ideologues of what it is to have American culture, and I'm of course talking about Tucker Carlson, Ben Shabibo, and Charlie Kirk. Obviously, genius men, fucking very smart individuals. They were all very upset about
most astute of the world.
The everything, because I think America's always had a historically good relationship with Britain, even at the country's very exception. We love those guys. So of course we care so deeply. We care so deeply when the Queen passes, because she was so young. So such a sad. So I think we know that there's going to be no jokes about.
Absolutely.
Look, I mean,
absolutely
I think
no jokes, but you better believe
some
it's
people
going
might
down.
be upset about that thing that happened in New York.
Yeah,
That really
losing.
fucking sucked, dude. The Yankees aren't. You don't fucking hear about them anymore. What an amazing legacy to let go down the drain, dude.
That's fun.
Oh, that's good to hear. It shows you how much.
I know you don't know. I was
just.
To be honest with
I was
you.
gonna say I don't
Only reason
follow
I'm-
sports, but then I was fucked up because baseball isn't a fucking sport, unless bowling's a sport.
Bowling
like
is a
that's-
sport. What do you mean? There's
I mean, but
professional
that's
bowling
like
league.
an athletic activity. Like I'm going by like Preston Rowe definition of sport, and that's why my brain was like caught up on it.
So only under that definition, only football is a sport.
Speaking of which,
Maybe basketball.
Speaking of which, is Caroline going to have to go husbandless for the next 100 some days? Because that's what all the football has been up our TV's asshole. Just like DraftKings, football is back, and it's like neither of us fuck with that. But I know you're happy it's back.
I'm fucking so happy it's back. I mean, I am absolutely a football guy. Recording this right now, pretty fresh off of the Washington Commanders being an undefeated team. The Washington Commanders in the entire history of being the Washington Commanders have never lost a game. It's an absolute wonderful time in the kingdom, that's for sure.
Wait, so I'm completely have the Washington Commanders actually not lost a game? Is that a sentence you can say?
So this is the first year as the Washington Commanders, and so this was their first game, and they won. So they as an organization have
that's
not lost a
fucking
football
awesome.
game.
That's a really good. That's a good ass. That's a fucking good ass name. The Commanders.
Listen,
dumbass
I'm
name.
just a little pissed because they didn't debut a mascot named Commander Washington. Are you telling me that the Washington Commanders couldn't come up with Commander Washington as a mascot?
I mean, that's true, and you could have you seen the Dr. Liversley meme? Where he's like, I'll send you a link to link it. But just have him look like that, and it's just very broad shoulders, it's like an old Russian cartoon, and the way he walks has become a meme, weeks ago. But I just found it.
weeks
Yeah,
ago.
I know,
I just found it. Like that kid in Corn. Let's see. So yeah, football's back. It's pretty good. You know,
Yeah,
getting to see.
I mean,
getting to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry I'm not as receptive today. You know, just the Queen dying. I think we should just make today, especially National American Queen Elizabeth Remembrance Day, 9/11, 2022.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Or should we make today the National Honor King Charles III?
That's pretty good too.
Yeah. Oh man, another man that's too goddamn old to be doing anything important politically isn't taking control of a country.
I mean, that's just news here in the civilized West, where you do a really good job.
This is what we do.
Old people run everything.
so facts. But hey, rest assured that for a fact, the Crown will continue to harvest orphans for adrenochrome to provide to the fancy societies of the world. There's no doubt in my mind that this will continue, and the rich will continue to bathe in the blood of children.
Speaking of totally insane, deranged bullshit, I talked to a doctor recently who's a vaccine skeptic.
Oh, shit. The most quality of people.
And I even said to him, like, it's like, what my reaction to vaccine skepticism is. Would you describe it as rational or charitable or nice?
It's about as rational as I consider, most of the tiki torch holders at Charlottesville. Just good people on both sides.
I told him, so I should, usually when someone is a vaccine skeptic, I call them a retard to their face and tell them they're not a fucking doctor. But I can't say that to you, so I'll listen. And, at the end of the day, the man did get it. And he said he deals with long COVID by taking Pepsid every day. And he says it works.
This podcast is
he
brought
says
to you by
it. Well,
Pepsi.
there's like an F word. There's like a compound in it that handles it.
Pull out a compound.
Something starts with an F for manadine or something.
Yeah.
What is
whatever it is. He definitely was just like, I'm about to flex a medical name at this.
I mean, it's like I was like, okay, I guess, but it's like you still have to take even if that is the case completely, and everything this man says is like totally qualified. I feel like it's still kind of an L because now you have to take a fucking thing every day. Like I literally cleaned my diet up so I didn't have to eat fucking Tums and shit every day. Like you still got, I feel like you still got your pussy fucking broken by nature, and now your pussy is fucked up forever, and you're gonna walk funny for the rest of your life because you let nature raw dog you, and you cannot take nature's fucking dick. Like you can't. And so I just feel like it's still, we force people to have it, but we force people to do plenty of shit in this fucking country.
That is true. We forced lots of groups of people.
Everyone's so fucking butthurt. A real, but yeah. So, but it was like I listened to what he had to say, and I'm sure I'll hear more about it. But it's just like that is like I feel like it's like a level 100 Grand Wizard because he's not like it's like he's not like
that dude was like the best of the mini bosses in a video game for you in your crusade for vaccine. Like if your personal mission to spread the word of vaccine was a video game, this doctor, he wasn't like the final boss where he's like uber strong. He was like a pretty good mid boss though. Like you had to do a few more extra dodge, ducks, and dives just to get through.
I mean,
there.
It was like I don't think I'm changing his mind. It's too late for me, bro. Like I'm sterile or whatever. I'm 3 in, gonna get my 4th. Whatever. Or I was supposed to be dead in fucking February. We were all supposed to drop dead. That didn't fucking happen. Because he was like a...
Yeah, we were all supposed to automatically just float to the sky and stick to
he was also... Well, mostly his main point is like he's not anti-vax, but he's like a bodily autonomy Andy. Like I don't know how valid. Like, do you? I mean, because like he didn't control anybody else. You know, he made his own decision, and he's like, you know, was a doctor at one point. You know.
Yeah. I mean, my thing about bodily autonomy is, at the end of the day, like, there's so many arguments that run around that argument that I feel like I don't really want to pick and choose. I'm trying to stay consistent to one side, as just for the sake of any argument I put down. And my side that I have chosen personally is always for bodily autonomy, because, like, the crazy cases, like, when it's not, like abortion, fucking vaccines, all these are body autonomy. At the end of the day, they're body autonomy questions. That's how it always comes down to. So let's just go, yes, you can choose.
And he was reasonable enough to be like, yeah, of course, you know, it's reasonable that if you're gonna do that, you have to have a different set of rules. You know, we can't let you be out here wilding like a, you know. And he was reasonable about that, but it's like, that's someone I'm willing to take that, I guess. I'm willing to hear you out. If you have, like, I'm definitely not gonna fucking believe this man, because, you know, appeal to authority is not in and of itself a reason to believe something. You know, motherfucking high-end professionals disagree with each other all the time. You know.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, listen, if you really don't want to take it, don't fucking do it.
I don't give it.
That's cool.
This natural selection out this bitch, and
I was gonna say, you don't want to take the vaccine, and that dude on the side of the street wants to take heroin. I'm gonna let y'all make your choice.
Speaking of
fun, though, you know, honestly, like 100% from the bottom, you like do your thing, have fun, have a good life. Don't fucking live it for someone else.
Yeah, no, don't even know if everyone's there. You know, there are people that could make a really good case that this shit is just a simulation, and we're like in like a Rick and Morty kind of that one, the Roy game. Speaking
of simulations, though, let me tell you. So this past week on Wednesday, I got up and did another set in Magooby's Joke House in Timonium, Maryland, and got another 5 minutes in, and got laughs through most of the thing. I'm more of a storyteller comic than I am like in actual jokes. So the points of my stories that were supposed to get laughs got laughs, which is what I'm always looking for. Anyways, it was really hard after doing that to wake up and then go to a real ass job, like after having one iota of holy shit, this could be possible. I was just like, fuck this shit. I want to go be doing that.
Yeah, man. Get the brain rot, get the brain breakage. I've always felt that way, and it's I feel like one of the most frustrating things back in the day was just organizing with people. Just because this is really hard to do, to even do stuff like this consistently, and you can't just say to everyone oh, go and do it. It's I feel like it's something you have to work on consistently, and I feel like a lot of the ways people typically live can stifle that, and it's always a big fear of mine, but that's why I want to do it. But yeah, no, that fucking set, if you haven't seen the set, is it on YouTube already?
It is on YouTube.
Yeah, go watch that shit. It is
it's
fucking funny is what it is. 100%.
Yeah, man. Got another set coming up once again. Magooby's Joke House, Timonium, Maryland, October 20th. That's a Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, I know. I said to someone in casual conversation the other day, the Spute now streaming on all platforms, because I had to say my podcast, and I was like, fuck it, if I'm gonna go that far, I'm just the Spute on all platforms. We're easy to find, just put our name in. And he was and the dude was well, no one's got a gun to your head to do that. And I was like, okay, but I'm gonna act like that. Sorry. So I'm gonna do it. I'll fucking do it again. Yeah, no, that dude.
Again. That's me all day. All day at work, I'm hey man, I'll be at Timonium. I'll be at Magooby's Joke House, Timonium, Maryland. Whatever day. And also check out my podcast, The Spute, streaming on all platforms. Just hit everybody. If I make someone laugh throughout the day, I'm like, hit them with the fucking meow.
So here's another thing to talk about. What was his fucking name? So you heard about this Alaskan photographer, and he shot himself rather than freeze to death in the woods. Carl McCunn, that's his fucking name. So this guy, I learned about him last night, and this motherfucker decided he was going to go into the woods in Alaska, about roughly 200 miles from where he thought civilization would be, to do wildlife photography for 5 months. And he basically didn't really arrange a way to get back. He didn't like arrange his exit. The guy who dropped him off there was like very adamant, like, you know, no, I'm not coming to get you back. This is a one-way trip. You gotta deal with your own shit here, buddy.
Dude was like,
yeah, literally. He wrote that in his fucking diary that they found on him, because he was like writing shit down the whole time before he gacked himself. Like, so
he stream of conscious suicide.
Yeah, no, he really did. And like, he threw away, like, early in his trip, he was like, I felt like a warmonger, so I threw away 5 boxes of shotgun shells. Like, that's some shit I would fucking do if I were drinking. Like, if I were just faded as fuck
in the middle of nature, like, I'm
such a bad person. Throw the shotgun shells away. It's like he did shit like that. Like, just classic blunders. Oh. And then he was only really, like, at most 75 miles away from society. And, like, you know, I probably would die if I had to walk 75 miles in my current state.
Oh, yeah. 3,000 fucking %. That's a rough walk.
But he, like, waited till, like,
cold enough to kill.
Yeah, well, he was like there all summer, and he died December 18th. But he had from, like, May, at least, to get out of there, I think. Like, he knew, like, he had to go. And he told... Oh, and one other detail. He had also told everyone he knew, like, nah, man, don't worry about it. I'm good, man. You know, I got a way out, man. Don't worry about me. You know, Dad, hey, Dad, if I don't come home when I said I was coming home, well, don't worry about it, because, you know, I think things are just going well, and I'm just staying a little longer, so you don't have to worry about me. Like, that's pretty much what he told his dad.
I feel that. I'm that guy. I'm so that guy. I'm like, I'm good. Don't worry. I'm good. I got this. I got it all.
I don't know. I feel like you would, you know, if you were realizing you were fucked, like, months before it got cold.
Well, if I was realizing I was fucked, yeah, I don't think I'd have froze. I don't think I'd have froze to death. I would have died on the fucking march to civilization. I would not have stopped and gagged.
He didn't even attempt it.
Yeah, I would have. It would not have been. I mean, I may have I would have died of, like, exhaustion, like freezing due to exhaustion, because that's just what I would have done. I would have been like, I think it's this way, and I'd have fucking marched.
Never commit suicide.
Make it suicide by walking as close to civilization.
Yeah, go out, like, trying, like, you know.
Or suicide by cop. That's also pretty fair.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, there's also the classic suicide by plane into the building.
Yeah, I mean, that's only a conceptual thing. I don't think that's kind of silly when you think about it. Like, you're not really doing much.
Who would actually go for that?
Because you couldn't even melt the fucking building with the jet fuel. It doesn't get hot enough, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, the jet fuel, I don't think you can.
So it really seems like a really pointless endeavor, especially if you're someone as smart as, like, people who are thinking about America are, because that's, like, I mean, thinking about attacking America are. was like,
I mean, also you got to think like if a plane was going for like the White House, like even if it was a charter plane just full of people, like they would probably shoot it down. They probably wouldn't even make it to a.
yeah, how the fuck did the Pentagon let itself get hit with our constantly mobilized military? It's like almost like we don't need to be upset about anything that happened that day because most people agree with what we just said, or there's like a decent population, I wouldn't say most. So it's like, why do we care? We should be concerned about the Queen dying because that was the saddest possible fucking thing that could have happened in September.
God did not
He said,
save the
fuck
Queen.
that lady.
Well, this has been Jazzy and Riley's 9/11 special. I hope it goes down for you as well. Thank you for joining us in the Spute, and we hope that you got elevated.